Welcome friends, I am Mrugesh Prajapati. I am a physics teacher in a Lux School of Science, Bamanwar. Today we discuss about what are the basic things needed to study in a 11-12 science, physics and chemistry subjects. Here we discuss about basic fundamental things which use in a 11-12 science, physics and chemistry subjects, right? This lecture is very important for us because some of the students were not aware of the fundamental things which use in a subject which you were already studied in a lower standard, right? So we just here revise the fundamental things which is used in a 11-12 science, physics and chemistry subjects, right? So let us start with the common word. What is science, right? You know, what do you mean by science? What do you mean by science? This is a common question, right? Science subject you are study in a standard 10th, right? But what actually the science is? Science is a study of objects which are surrounding by us. Getting a knowledge of a different types of the objects which are surrounding by us is known as a science. Different types of the phenomena occurring around us is called the science. Getting a knowledge of a different types of the phenomena are occurring around us is a science. From a early morning to the late night, so many different types of the phenomena occurring around us, and to getting a knowledge of these different types of the phenomena, we deals with the subject science. We know that there are two different types of the objects surrounding by us. Some objects are living objects, some objects are non-living objects. That means there are two types of the things surrounding by us, living things as well as the non-living things. So that the science is divided into the two categories. First one is the associated with the living things. The science which deals with the study of the living things is known as the biological science. Living things के structure of the living things, survival of the living things, science associated with the plants and elements are called the biological science, and that is subject is a biology. Another way, science which deals with the study of the non-living things is a physical science. Physical science is further divided into the two categories, physics and chemistry. So the physical science is divided into the two categories, chemistry and physics. Chemistry is associated with the substance, every substance, structure of the substance, composition of the substance, different types of the chemicals, composition of the chemicals are all studied in a chemistry. And physics is nothing but a study of the natural science around us, like a space, geographical, astronomical, that all the things we study in a physics. Later on we discuss about detail in the physics, different types of the branches of the physics, right? So but what do you mean by the physics first is that, so physics is a branch of the science which deals with the study of the natural phenomena occurring around us. from early morning to the late night, we have a different types of the natural phenomena. Look at the screen, right? We know the some of the natural phenomena, like first one is the twinkling of the star. What is the reason behind this twinkling of the star? Of course, it is a atmospheric reflection that we will study in the chapter science. Second phenomena is a fruit falling from a tree. What is the reason behind this? Fruit falling from a tree. Of course, it is a gravitational that we will study in a physics, right? And another well-known phenomena is that rainbow occurring in our sky. So these are the different types of the phenomena which we will study in a science, physics. So these are the different types of the phenomena we see earlier, right? Is study in the different chapters in the physics. But for that we have to create a scientific aptitude. What is the scientific aptitude and what is the scientific method to observe the different types of the phenomena? Here we what is the scientific aptitude and how we create the scientific aptitude for a scientific method to observe the different types of the phenomena. So first one is that to observe the different types of the phenomena, right, we need a systematic observation of the different types of the phenomena. What is the systematic observation? Number of times we observe the different types of the phenomena, right? First, various steps for observing the different types of the phenomena. Here we are taking some steps for a scientific method to observe the different types of the phenomena. First one is the systematic observation. Here we take the number of observations of the same phenomena occurring around us, right? Then after we take this control experimental. This phenomena is controlled by the experiments or not. We are taking same phenomena experimentally in our laboratory. We test the same phenomena occurring in our laboratory. Several times we take some experiments, right, regarding the same phenomena and derive the qualitative and quantitative analysis of this phenomena. Then after we create a mathematical models of this phenomena, mathematical steps of this phenomena. We derive a mathematical formula regarding this phenomena, and after deriving the mathematical formulas we verify and falsify the theories. If the theories are correctly verification by the mathematical equation, it's okay, but if something is wrong in this theory, we just verify the theory with the mathematical equation, previous equation, right? So that is called the falsification of the theory, right? So during this step, right, we derive this type of the different types of the phenomena and we go through the step by step controlling the different types of the phenomena, and after verification and falsification it comes to the law of the science, right? So the scientific method for taking any natural phenomena occurring around us, right? For example, if we considering a phenomena like a fruit falling from a tree, the Newton were first observed this phenomena. He were observed several times of the phenomena of a fruit falling from the tree. Same type of the experiment done in the laboratory several times. The analysis done and mathematical formula of a new fruit falling from a tree. He find the reason behind this is a gravitation and he derived the formula of the gravitational force, right? It's a true. So study of the different types of the natural phenomena, we need to use the mathematical steps, right? We need to use the derive the some mathematical steps. So mathematics is very important for the study of the physics and chemistry, right? By deriving a mathematical law, deriving the laws of the physics and chemistry, we need to use the maths, right? So math is a very important for the physics and chemistry. So we are considering physics is the king of the science, but the maths is a queen of the science, right? So first of all, we start with our chapter 0, mathematical tool for the physics. Not only physics, but it's physics and chemistry, both the things. So you need to remember some basic algebra like a common identities, like you know that a plus or minus b whole square, it is equal to a square plus minus 2ab plus b square. And what is the use of this and where we use these common identities? You must know these common identities for the physics. Similarly, a plus or minus b whole cube, it is equal to a cube plus b cube plus or minus 3ab in bracket a plus minus b. Obviously simple formula, a plus b second bracket a minus b, it is equal to a square minus b square. So these are the common identities you must know for the physics, right? So write down these common identities for the mathematical algebras used in the physics, and write all other identities which you were studied in the lower standard, right? So but because these common identities is very useful in the physics as well as in the chemistry, and if you take a subject math, it will studied by a mathematical subjects, right? Another thing you must have to remember is a quadratic equation and its a solution, right? So what is the quadratic equation? Quadratic equation is in the form of the x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Some roots of the quadratic equation are easily found, but some of the quadratic equations are that we cannot easily find their roots. So we use the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a to calculate the roots of the quadratic equation. This formula you have studied in the standard 10 in the delta form. Delta is equal to b square minus 4ac, and if the delta is greater than 0 we can calculate the roots easily, right? And if the delta is less than 0 we cannot calculate the root. So use this formula to find the roots of the following quadratic equation: 6x square minus 13x plus 6 is equal to 0. So I will give you some times and try to calculate the roots of the quadratic equation 6x square minus 13x plus 6 is equal to 0, and similar type of the quadratic equation try to solve the as much as 5 quadratic equation, right, with this formula. Calculate the roots of the quadratic equation, right, with this formula. Minimum you have to calculate the 5 quadratic equation and calculate their roots, okay? Another important thing is called the mensuration. You need to remember some formulas regarding a circle, square, rectangle, that all the things. Like this is the circumference of the circle, you know, 2 pi r. Area of the circle, pi r square. Surface area of the sphere, 4 pi r square. Volume of the sphere, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Similarly, you have to write the formula regarding the square, circumference of the square, that is called the perimeter of the square. Area of the square, how we can calculate the area of the square? Length of the diagonal of a square, right, it is a root to L. Rectangle, you have to write the circumference of the rectangle, right? Area of the rectangle, length of the diagonal of the rectangle. Cylinder, what is the formula of the surface area of the cylinder, what is the formula of the volume of the cylinder, you have to write yourself. Another well-known figure is the area of the triangle. You of course you know that the area of the triangle is 1/2 into the base into the altitude, right? But you were studied in a standard 10 to calculate the area of the triangle from the Heron's formula. You can also write this formula in this point, right? So write the area of the triangle. How you can calculate the area of the triangle? Write the formula of equilateral triangle. How you can calculate the area of equilateral triangle? Under root 3 by 4 into the h square. How you can calculate the altitude, length of the altitude? This all the things you can write in this triangle, right? If the triangle is not a equilateral triangle, how we can calculate the area of the triangle? These things are very basic to you and you must have to remember these things, right?